Welcome to a Nonsense Wars GBC thing, and today's GBC thing is definitely one of the bigger GBC things I've built to date. Ever since I saw Ben Stover's 30-ball batch tester module in the Great Ball Pit Discord, I had thought about building my own testing module, but I didn't find the inspiration to work on it until after seeing the various entries for the 2020 challenge. The module has the following four features: variable batcher, extending ramp, ball unloader, and small reservoir. I came up with this list of potentially useful functions before doing any design and built accordingly. You would think that the variable batch mechanism would be the most troublesome part of the build, but after seeing all the challenge entries, I was pretty confident it would work, and I actually started working in LDD before building any physical prototype. I mostly just needed to figure out how to arrange the various parts of the mechanism. This, of course, uses a differential. One output tips the ramps, and the other operates a sliding axle, effectively a sensor. The weighted tipping mechanism requires much more force to activate, so by default, the differential moves the axle. Balls roll onto the ramps and pile up on the stopper. After both ramps fill, filling one lane first forces balls into the other. A ball will eventually jam the sensor, causing the differential to tip the ramps. The stopper can move back and forth to accommodate more or less balls, but you need to manually align it such that a ball stops directly in front of the axle. The two lanes can hold a maximum of 30 balls and a minimum of 2 balls, although the mechanism needs more than the emptying number of balls to activate. The extra balls roll onto the ramps when they open and become part of the next batch when they close. Sadly, this makes the module not capable of self-emptying. Sometimes these extra balls do fall out with the current batch, but I would actually consider this additional randomness a feature. Now, I wanted the extending ramps so that I would not have to set up my discrete ramps when testing. I debated on the extended length and settled that it should be long enough to reach the entrance of the module itself. Designing these ramps required more iterations than any other feature in the module. The ramps needed to be both flat and collapsible. They should not take up much vertical space, and they should store under the tipping lanes. Additionally, the joints between the ramps need 2 degrees of freedom in order to both tilt and change direction. The height of the ramps ultimately decided the height of the entire module. The initial output is just high enough such that balls can roll down all 3 ramps into a standard height input area. The extended setup can be a little flimsy, but nothing that will collapse if not disturbed. The tires, as usual, don't rotate and serve to increase friction rather than reduce it. Perhaps in the future, I would consider replacing my discrete ramps with something like this. The last ramp has these flaps on it in order to drain balls out of a loop. With the discrete ramps, I usually had to stop modules and replace a ramp with a bin, but I should not have to do that with this module. Then again, the extending ramps are easier to move than the discrete ramps, so perhaps the feature is already superfluous. The last feature is the reservoir. This is actually not that useful to me because I don't have that many balls, but I think it is useful in general. Perhaps more importantly, it expands the footprint of the input area such that modules in testing can empty into this module from more directions. The sides of the reservoir can fold when not needed or for storage. While not quite special a feature, the lift mechanism derives from the vertical stepper 2.1. I've covered the main points of this revision in another video, so I will only mention that I made two minor modifications. I added a counterweight to the top of the linear step since the weight delta between the two steps is larger with more steps, and I altered the geometry of the loading step to improve ball handling. Finally, power comes from an M motor, and the stepper drivetrain basically clones that of the 2.1 along with its net gear ratio of 3:25. From there, a series of shafts drive the batch mechanism at 1:1, as the sensor needs to run at the same speed as the steps. Do note that running only one output of the differential generates a 2:1 gear magnification, and I have to add a 1:2 reduction with an 8-tooth and 16-tooth gear to compensate. The module has the same shared power connection as 2.1, though I feel like it should come out of the side. Again, perhaps a future modification. The main thing I don't like about this is the enormous size and weight, but generating batches of 30 with this mechanism pretty much necessitates the length, and the extending ramps necessitate the height. Issues with the tipping mechanism have mostly come from setting the stopper poorly, and I don't expect any issues with the vertical steps after all the revisions. Balls might be able to fall off the extended ramps if I don't set those up correctly, but on that note, this is the end of the video, so have a nice day.